Hi, I'm Zoe Vickers, the Director of Partner Presales over at Tasktop. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to be demonstrating how Tasktop Hub integrates Rally with Azure DevOps to improve speed, velocity, and quality of your deliveries. Tasktop automates the flow of work across tools and between IT practitioners to eliminate duplicate data entry, human error, and administrative overhead. Rally serves as a central hub for teams to collaboratively plan, prioritize, and track work on a synchronized cadence. Teams can visualize their work in the form of lists, boards, or timeline views, and more importantly, they can understand how their day-to-day work aligns to the greater goals of the business. In this demo, we'll see Tasktop Hub reliably and seamlessly perform bidirectional synchronization between Rally and Azure DevOps, eliminating friction and delays and normalizing the data as it flows through a model. We will see how Tasktop automates artifact creation in Rally based on activities and other tools like Azure DevOps, Jira, or GitLab. We will also see how Tasktop automates traceability by inserting back references and links to twinned artifacts in other tools. Lastly, we'll finish by showing the intuitive admin user interface where all the integrations are set up and administered. So in the demo I'm about to show you, we're going to take a look at an integration for a company building a mobile video streaming application. When a user creates a portfolio epic in Rally, Tasktop will flow the portfolio epic over to Azure DevOps as an epic under a specified project. We'll do the same with the portfolio feature as well. And once the team in Azure DevOps breaks that epic and feature down into stories, Tasktop will take that story and synchronize it back to the correct team and project in Rally under the originating epic and feature. As Tasktop synchronizes these items back and forth between tools, you will see updates such as progress, priority, and assignee flow between Rally and Azure DevOps. So let's get started. To begin the demo, we are here in the portfolio item view over in my Rally project. As you can see, I have all the different types of items that are going to relate to my video mobile streaming app. We have things like our portfolio epics, which are broken down also into my different features already. To begin the demo, I'm going to begin by adding a new portfolio epic. We'll call this one User Account Functionality. And we'll start by putting in some of the different required fields. When I do this, I'm also going to create with my different details, and I'll put in my description here, as well as any other required fields on my right-hand side. So here I might choose to determine what ADO area path and iteration path this is going to. So I'm going to assign this to my Dolphin team, and this is going to be assigned to maybe my sprint 1 of release 2. Likewise, I might come in and add a high priority to this item, and then I'm actually going to fill out a custom field called synchronize, and I'm going to say, yes, I want to synchronize this over to Azure DevOps. One of the key things to note is this is not a required field. Really, none of these are. These are just fields that I have chosen to use in order to perform today's synchronization. As I push create, Tasktop is using the existing REST APIs that reside both here within Rally and Azure DevOps in order to push this epic over into Azure DevOps as a portfolio epic. Before I go over into Azure DevOps though, I will also create a child of this specific item. So what I might do is I look at my Azure DevOps view of some of the different fields I'm going to add. And as I click add new, again, this time, in order to break down that user account functionality epic, I'm going to say this is my login functionality feature. From there, again, I'll put in some of my basic fields. And as I create these with details, I might again decide, okay, what is my description of this specific feature? And go and assign it to the specific Azure DevOps area path. So I'm going to assign it to my same team as well as the specific iteration path that I'm adding to. And I'll follow in and add a priority and choose to synchronize this. As I go into Azure DevOps now, we can see already that the user account functionality, so that epic that I just created over in Rally, has synchronized as an epic into Azure DevOps, as well as the feature down below. Some of the things that we can see here already are things such as the Rally ID and URL that have been able to be seamlessly synchronized between the two systems. So these are just backlinks. So if anyone over here in Azure DevOps only wants to stay in their tool of choice, but ever wants to look at where this originating record is, they can easily access that here. Likewise, we see some of the details down below, such as the description that we filled out, as well as the priority. And if I wanted, I could start updating these items. I, for example, could change the priority. I could also change the status now into an active state and save. As I scroll further down, we see over in the bottom right-hand corner also that we were able to maintain the relationship between that epic and feature as we synchronized. So not only were we able to, again, bring over the epic and the feature, but we can see here the feature is related to that epic as a parent artifact. Likewise, maybe what I can do is I'm going to set my feature now to active. I'm going to save that, but I'm also going to add a link to a new item here. And in this case, I want to break down this specific feature into different stories. And so in this case, I might actually choose to say, okay, as my user story, I want to be able to create a username and a password for my account. I'm going to click OK. And then I can choose to determine any information. So I could add in a description here, or in this case, maybe I just want to save and close. And we're going to be able to see, again, this story synchronized in real time back over into Rally. So as I go back into Rally, what we can do is we can navigate to our backlog now, and we can see this specific story that we just created has been created in real time back in Rally. So as I scroll through, what I can see here is different things such as the area path and the iteration path that I did assign back in Azure DevOps, as well as an ID to the specific story where it sits both back in Azure DevOps as an ID and a URL. From here, we could start drilling down and adding some details to this story. So we could say, I want to set my user name and password. And as we do that, we can also come down and we could say maybe the team here in Rally is the one actually creating the UI mockup, and maybe the team in Azure DevOps is the one who's actually determining the requirements. So as I go into my desktop here, I can add an attachment of what I think the mockup will look like. And I want to see that attachment and the field that we've updated right here set over in Azure DevOps. Something else I could do is I could come in and maybe I want to change what sprint this relates to. So I could say, actually, this one won't go into sprint 2. Now, before I go into Azure DevOps, I want to go into my discussions. And one of the values of Task Hub is they want to empower your teams to stay in their tool of choice. So instead of having to get out of the tool, be in both systems, here we could use the built-in chat functionality and say, hey, ADO team, please look at the mock-up attachment. And we want them to verify over in Azure DevOps that the attachment is exactly what they want it to look like in terms of adding that username and password functionality. So as we scroll back now over into Azure DevOps, what I can do is refresh my specific user story. We can see here that the comment that I inserted over in Rally has synchronized seamlessly over here with the specific user I was logged into over in Rally as well. And we also get to see certain things such as the description that we set. Likewise, one last thing that we could do is we could say, maybe I'm actually updating this item. Maybe let's move this to resolved and save. And again, we're going to be able to see the bidirectional synchronization happen seamlessly. So as I go back over into Rally and we go back into my details, we'll be able to see as well that my schedule state has now changed. So instead of being in that discovery stage, it is now in the accepted stage because it is resolved. To summarize what we covered today, business and IT professionals across these two tools collaborated with each other seamlessly, never having to leave their tool of choice, never having to copy and paste information, and never having to exchange over email. This integration was brought to life through Tasktop Hub's clear and intuitive administration UI, one place from which to rule all your integrations. You can configure precisely what flows and how it flows with maximum reuse thanks to Tasktop's model-based integration. and you can easily monitor the activity of your integrations and view metrics on just how much manual effort you are saving your organization. If you like what you saw and would like to learn more, contact us for a demo or evaluation at tasktop.com/contact-us. Thank you.